My name is J.C. Moon. I'm a pastor of prior, to JBC, Jerusalem Baptist Church. That's New Horizon Community Church, which we started 15 years ago. And after being together with the Jerusalem Baptist Church for 10 years, then we became one church starting this year.
My name is Jonathan Parker. I'm a pastor at Jerusalem Baptist Church. I'm actually a missionary kid. That's something maybe that's interesting to know. I lived in Bogota, Colombia as a teenager, graduated in the United States, but I speak Spanish as a second language. So my family's been involved in international missions a lot of my life. And so I knew when God, wherever He's going to put me, I was going to be involved in international ministry. So that's some of my background. Yeah. How do we become one church? All right. Well, I followed the senior pastor who's here before me, and he actually met Pastor Moon at a gathering locally. I was involved the whole time. So as far as conversations, behind the scenes, lots of conversations were had. But he met Pastor Moon, and we were already looking for international. Like, we have a heart for the nations, as it amounts to, and so we have a number of congregations here actually. This is the first that we've actually combined completely like this. But he met at a pastor's gathering, and they were looking at a place to walk together, and we weren't looking for renters. That's our ongoing statement. We're not looking for rentals. We want family. And so that was what initially brought New Horizon here. But as we continued to walk together, we were like, this is not adequate. Like, we needed to really make these things one. It's too easy to kind of default to traditions, and we needed to make the traditions one tradition. And so that's kind of some of what's happened to bring it to today. We're looking to how do we best serve everyone in a way that actually makes it family, where you're not like us, them. It really is just us. So that would be my statement.
Well, Pastor Jonathan Parker just told you about his version of how we became one church, and this is my version, and I believe that my version goes even beyond the past 10 years. It starts from my ministry, that 30 years ago, when God called me for the ministry. He called me to become the youth pastor and English-speaking pastor. And so I have done that ministry for many years until we started church 15 years ago and called New Horizon Community Church. And mainly I was English-speaking pastor. So that's the main service until the Korean-speaking congregation people start coming and they say, can we start the Korean-speaking service? So for many years that we had two different services in Korean and in English. Even though we're a small church, I had to preach two different times like that. Until 10 years ago, I met the Pastor Terry, the former pastor of Jerusalem Baptist Church, and we discussed how we can come together as a one church. Our desire at the time, need, was just looking for the worship place. But Pastor Terry saying, we're not looking for renters, we're looking for, people who can work, do ministry together. So we decided to come, and I agree with him, and I truly believe that was what God wanted. So for past 10 years that we had services, and the 9:30 in the morning that I spoke in Korean, and 11 o'clock I spoke in English, and at the same time, the Pastor Terry and now the Pastor Jonathan Parker spoke 11 o'clock service in JBC and service. So two different services at the same time. I truly believe that's kind of very rare. The same location with the two different services in same language, in English, and 9:30 in the morning I spoke in Korean until this year that we decided let's combine 11 o'clock English service to become one service, so people will not get confused. We are not two different churches anymore. We want to be one church. So that's how we decide to going forward. So after that, the beginning of this year, for past a year, that Pastor Jonathan spoke twice, and then I spoke once. So we alternate. So I'm preaching, and then finally, a month ago, we decided to become one by voting, and everybody agreed. So now the New Horizon Community Church is closed. Now we all became member of Jerusalem Baptist Church. Whether they speak in English or they speak in Korean, whether they attend English speaking service or Korean speaking service, that we all are a member of one church called Jerusalem Baptist Church.
I mean, my vision is, honestly, it's this. I want to be faithful here. I want to reach anyone that God will allow us to reach, period, with the gospel. I think everyone in the entire world needs Christ, period. What I want our church to be is that, where we can reach anyone, it doesn't matter where they're from, whether Korean or not Korean, just anyone. They want to reach the nations, period. And I really do think we are better equipped collectively, both of us. Like, there are people who more naturally come because we have Korean staff, and there are other people who are more naturally come because I'm on staff. But I think what actually you gain is when they either come, you find out, wow, there's something more to the kingdom than I was used to. There are graces, I think, in a collective church that don't exist in a primary single kind of group situation. But so in answer to your question, what do I see? I want to see, I really do want our church to reach the nations. And we're in an area that is entirely multi-ethnic, really. And that's what I want. So
okay, let me add on to that more specific ways. Next 5 years or 10 years, we have two other congregation, Hispanic congregation and then Arabic congregation. So our vision is that even those congregations should become one church like we are. So we have two other congregation, and the English, the Hispanic, and then Arabic congregation. And even though they are not totally one church with us yet, and my vision is that those congregations, even though they don't have English-speaking ministry yet, to become one church, and for us to do that, translation is the issue, challenge. So I would see that we're going to somehow the technology we can use, that those language gap or language barrier will be overcome. That people can come together, worship God together in different languages, or maybe in English, but they can understand and hearing things. I know some churches doing that already, using some technology, or whichever that may be. And that will be a challenge for us that we're not only reaching out to who can speak English, but reaching out to people with different languages to come together and then worship God. Even now, sometimes we come once a year at least. We come together, all four congregation, and then 4 different pastors preaching. And then at the end, we praise at least 1-2 songs in 4 different languages. So that's just awesome to be able to do that. I always get blessed by special songs sang by Hispanic congregation in Spanish, Arabic congregation in Arabic, and so that's really an awesome moment for us to enjoy, so we can honor God through that.
만나에서 만나요.